Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 6 of the F224 Andrea Kimi Antonelli career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend once more here in Barcelona. If you missed out on the video that went live yesterday, I would highly recommend going back and checking out. We had a wheel-to-wheel battle to the checkered flag against Gabriel Bortoleto. 12 points in it at the top of the championship between your top 4 runners. We start P3 as we head into the feature race today, so fingers crossed we can try and stay out of trouble, outscore both Paul Aron and our teammate Ollie Bearman, and maybe, just maybe, we can put ourselves back into championship contention. Get yourself subscribed if you're new. We're trying to hit 140,000 subs here on the channel, and yeah, let's do this thing.
Welcome to the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia here in Spain for what is expected to be a very closely contested race. It's back to the future for the F2 drivers today. We welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector. It will shorten lap times and reduce the length to 2.9 miles, 14 turns. This was the original setup of the track, but it hasn't been used since 2007. As the engineers make their last inspection of the cars, let's take a look at today's grid order for the race. A fantastic effort from Ollie Bearman yesterday puts him on pole position, with Paul Aron alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Antonelli, Hajar, Pepe Marti, Hauger, Miata, Vishor, Bortoleto,
Rafael Villagomez, Colapinto,
Victor Martins, Amory Cordial, Miney,
Barnard,
Correa, Roman Stanek, Crawford, Maloney, Fittipaldi,
Zach O'Sullivan.
And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Well, here we are then down on the grid. We've got our Prima teammate in Ollie Bearman lining up on the pole. We've got the one man that really does look like he can stop Prima this season, week in, week out, in Paul Aron just alongside him. And Gabriel Bortoleto, who's brutally consistent as well, but has often lacked the outright pace of your top 2 in the championship. He's a little bit further back down, so we probably won't see him leading the championship after this race. Soft compound tyres to start, and then we'll move over to the hards later on. It's 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out, and away we go there. And just like in the sprint race yesterday, we're going to try and get off to a nice, clean, tidy start down in towards someone there. Paul Aron, Ollie Bearman. Can we try and make it 3 wide into that first corner? Not when the Estonian does that. Just tries to cover me off in towards turn 1. So we will back out of that one without too much of a fight there as we try and make our way through turn 2 and turn 3. Look at that. Top 2 getting the elbows out with each other. A little bit of wheel banging. But again, Bearman will just about hang on there and sweep around the outside of Paul Aron up the top of the hill. So critical for Ollie that he's able to try and defend that lead off the start. But Paul Aron, like I said, obviously he's got both Primas ganging up on him this weekend. And, you know, if push comes to shove, I mentioned it in yesterday's video, that you don't really kind of work as teammates in FIA Formula 2. It is kind of every driver for themselves. But if the right kind of circumstances came, then I would try and work with Ollie Bearman as well here to try and stop Paul Aron scoring the maximum points. I mean, his teammate is Amory Cordial, who admittedly inside this series is doing better than he is in real life, but still, he's not much of a kind of an assistant up towards the front of the order inside this game. But yeah, as we make our way though through the final couple of corners though, top 5 I believe all still exactly the same as they were in qualifying, so we're actually going to get a really nice run on Paul Aron there out of the final turn. Are we going to be able to try and put alongside with him? He just seems to have a little bit more kick when we get up into 6th gear there. So he's going to try and defend the inside back down in towards turn 1. Will he be able to hook it up though? He's going to really pinch me through the apex of turn 2. We'll try and give him the room. Maybe do the old up and under through turn 3 there as Isaac Hajar just potentially senses an opportunity to try and get his car. Get the front wing down the inside through turn 3. Doesn't happen. And yeah, top 5 as they were from the get-go. Well, all this battling has given Bearman quite the lead at the front of the order. He might just be able to get Paul Aron out of the DRS range. I mean, that is going to be mighty close for Paul Aron, but I think he's just like hung on in there this time around. Of course, DRS isn't enabled just yet in the race. You can see, yeah, Bearman, he sensed an opportunity with myself and the high-tech man going wheel to wheel behind him and has almost bolted free. We'll all get a little bit of slipstream back down towards turn 1. But through this middle sector, obviously such a tight, twisty, narrow complex through most of the lap, Bearman's got a chance. Oh yeah, unfortunately for Bearman, I think Paul Aron's just got enough pace in that high-tech car to try and stick with him right now, as once again we wind our way through those final couple of turns. The other thing I've thought about, we are going to have to be careful with our pit stop strategy here. I think it might actually be worth extending the stint slightly further if these soft compound tyres last, because the hards are going to be very, very difficult to try and get temperature into. And, of course, as we've got to remember, we're the first pit box inside this game, so Bearman at the front of the order, when he pits, we might both get caught out in a little bit of traffic from cars further behind. So my plan, we'll see how well the tyres last, but I want to try and extend this stint and go longer than our teammate. Oh, at the final corner, this is going to be a big test now for Paul Aron. Is he going to be able to get the run on our teammate back down towards turn 1? We seem to be closing in on the pair of them as new personal best for the day. Here goes Paul Aron then to the inside. Ollie Bearman, his reign at the front of the order might be about to come to a temporary end. So we're going to try and make it 3 wide out of turn 2 there. Side by side through turn 3. Oh, we will swoop round the outside of 1. Will we be able to get round the outside of Paul Aron as well there? Yes, we will. And Fernando Alonso, 2013, I believe, we've just tried to do our best replication of there. We found the grit round the outside. We didn't back out of it. And suddenly, we are back into the lead of yet another Spanish race this weekend. Well, that moment of jubilation might be short-lived here, as here comes both Paul Aron and Ollie Bearman back to our inside again now at turn 1. Got to be really, really careful that we don't collide with our teammate here, but we will just defend from him through that first corner. So Paul Aron then back up to the front of the order. Having a look at the tyre wear. It's not fantastic, but it's not too bad either at this stage. We can definitely extend the stint a little bit longer if we need to. Obviously, we did 13 laps on the hards yesterday, and they were fine at the end of that. So we could pit now if I wanted, but I am just so nervous about an overcut. Right, and hopefully Paul Aron again then is going to be a sitting duck back down in towards turn 1. If you watched the video yesterday, you'll know just how much the AI struggle to really keep up in a straight line here. We do have a really good setup and good balance in the car this weekend. So back around his outside we'll go, and back into the lead down at turn 1. Well, Barcelona is not normally a track I enjoy on the F1 game, but I tell you what, in an F2 car, this place is really, really good fun. Team want us to start considering a pit stop around about now. So I'm sure we're going to see other AI in. This tyre wear warning lights just flashed up. We might have to go back to plan A. I'm just getting a little bit worried. Yeah, the tyre wear is going to be a bit too high. But is he going to leave us vulnerable through the pit lane here? Everybody's still very bunched up. But I think, yeah, I just don't think we can go the extra 2 laps. We're going to have to dive into the pit lane at the end of this one and just see how many places we lose. To round our way then through the final couple of corners. This is the one problem you have with having 2 drivers that are right up towards the front of the championship. We do sometimes find that we kind of trip over each other down at Prima, as a lot of drivers not opting to box then. Both Paul Aron and Ollie Bearman opt to stay out there, so we're going to have to require a really, really quick outlap here. But are we going to get held up? Find some other cars in the pit lane? Yes! In a word, we are. Come on, let me go! What are we waiting for? How far away from Zane Maloney did the team insist that we had to be there? We've been jumped by Hauger. That doesn't come as a surprise. And I think even Stanek as well, I think, has jumped us. Or maybe that's Rafael Villagomez. I think it might be Pepe Marti. Someone's jumped us. A couple of cars have jumped us. And suddenly, from the lead of the race, we are in big trouble here. Pepe Marti, if the undercut is the optimal strategy to go with, he might be able to leapfrog his way right to the front of the order. There we go, Ollie Bearman into the pit lane then. Thanks, Mark. But yeah, I'm really worried we're going to be undercut. Overcut even here by quite a lot, as Hauger, I mean, the gap's already 2 seconds to him and Pepe Marti. The AI definitely struggle less to try and get their tyres up to temperature as well. While inside this game, so you can just see us sliding around, desperate to try and put a bit more heat into the rubber compound, but as we round our way once again through the final corner, will we see Marty up to the front of the order? Will it be Paul Aron or Ollie Bearman still at the front? I think, yeah, Paul Aron is going to hang on here as we're not even back inside the points. There we go. Up into 10th as here comes Bortoletto, my sparring partner from yesterday. We'll try and go around his outside there as for some reason he wants to slot in behind Richard Verschoor through the first couple of corners, but that's worked out beautifully for Paul Aron though. To the front of the order he'll go. Pepe Marti gets in front of Ollie Bearman as well, but we have been the real loser in all of this. Trying to fight back against Richard Verschoor. Can we put the power down there? You can still definitely see they do struggle to get the tyres up to scrub. As around the outside of the Dutchman will go. Definitely not quite enough grip there, but again, we'll get the power down. We'll try and have a look down the inside into the very next corner. We can't afford to spend all day waiting behind him.
Nice move, keep going.
And again, that was another move where we had to get the elbows out. While as everybody else getting their tyres up to temperature though, I think we're in big trouble towards the end of this one. We just cannot seem to close in the gap on Franco Colapinto here. And of course, obviously, we are on slightly older tyres than the Argentinian. But we can make up time through that final corner. But just like we saw back at Imola, down the start-finish straight without DRS, you just drop away from those cars in front. We need to see Pepe Marti and Paul Aron battling more at the front of the order. Out of nowhere, could Pepe Marti, he was our first driver to win 2 races this season, he might become our first driver to win 3. Well, I'm sure Paul Aron or Pepe Marti aren't really thinking about me at the front of the order, but all their battling is really helping us out there. That'll help us out even more though. Second time this weekend, Ratomo Miata has had a big lock-up, and now we are back in the DRS range of a handful of cars in front of us. So if we can slowly move our way through to the front of the order, this will be really useful towards the end of the GP there. It's tucked up then in the slipstream of that Roden Carlin car. So we make our way back down. Oh! Miata's gone. Engine's gone. So 2 major errors there for Miata. Admittedly, one of them wasn't his own error. They can blame Mechachrome for that one, but Ratomo, our first casualty of the afternoon, he is out of the Barcelona feature. Oh, we got more yellows. Someone else, I think that's behind us though. This time he's also breaking down then, so not too sure who that is. I think it might be a Dams car towards the rear of the field. It is Juan Manuel Correa, our back-to-back sprint weekend winner a couple of rounds ago. He is our second casualty in just a single lap, and I'm surprised that we don't see a safety car for that one towards the end of the race. But 5 laps to go then here from Spain, and at the moment I'm pretty certain there are 2 Premas, 2 MPs, 2 Campos and Paul Aron inside the top 7 here. So once again goes to showcase just how well the Estonian is doing so far this year, as he's going to go down the inside of Pepe Marti through turn 2 and turn 3 again. And Paul Aron still, I mean, whoever wins this out of your big 3 in the championship, I believe, will be championship leader. We've still got Bortoletto behind us though, so I don't think he's going to be the one to claim it. Well, to be honest, I felt like we've been the quickest driver this weekend, but to walk away without a win in the sprint or a win in the feature would be really, really painful. I mean, I think that's the likely case that's going to happen here, but as we make our way in towards those final few laps, I'm not afraid still to get the elbows out. As you can see, once again, Marti back to the front of the order. I just want to try and find a way around Colapinto and maybe Isaac Hadjar here. Colapinto, of course, still one of our other championship rivals. He's a little bit further away, but he has again been brutally consistent so far this season. Always seems to pick up the points. Ugh. Colapinto there. Oh, he actually locks up. That was a bit lucky. Colapinto broke slightly earlier than I was expecting. And then, yeah, we just were able to get down the inside there. And I think he kind of spotted me and locked up in a kind of a panicked avoidance there. A little bit of wheel banging on the exit. But there we go, up into P6 then once more in this race. And, you know, like I said, you can carry that speed through the final corner. It does give us a little bit of defense. 3 laps to go, though. Can we make anything else happen there? As once again, Paul Aron, Pepe Marti, every single lap they seem to be wheel to wheel in towards turn 1. But Aron will make it through. Well, we accidentally went for a late braking manoeuvre last time. This time around, we're going to try it on purpose down the inside of Isaac Hadjar there. And yeah, we've got to be relentless towards the end of the race. We've just got to try and take any opportunity we can, especially if those top 2 or those top 3 cars start going wheel to wheel even more. There is still opportunity here. 2 laps left of the feature race here from Barcelona. And are we going to potentially get the run on Dennis Hauger at the final corner? I mean, we've just gone and set our new personal best for the race very late on in the day. As Hauger, again, will just brake a little bit early. He'll open the door for us down the inside there as Aron and Marty again wheel to wheel through turn 1 and turn 2. Ollie Bearman's got the best seat in the house for this, but he is going to get a little bit tripped over, and suddenly now, can we try and get the run on our teammate up in towards turn 4? No, we can't quite there, but we are making moves late on, and I tell you what, Ollie Bearman looks incredibly vulnerable in the dying stages. Down the inside again we'll go on this time round on our teammate, and that might be critical for our World Championship later on this season. Suddenly we are making all the moves, and I think just our higher downforce setup has allowed these hard tyres just to work a little bit better than what we've seen for the AI here. But one more lap to go after this one. Pepe Marti, can he make it win number 3 of the campaign, or will we see Paul Aron? Like I said, I can't remember whether Paul Aron's actually won a race so far. I would assume he has, maybe back in Bahrain. In fact, yeah, I'm pretty certain Paul Aron did win the season opening feature in Sakhir there, but clean around the outside of Pepe Marti. Whoa, by the time he gets to turn 1 there, Marti just could start to see him understeering through those first couple of corners there, and annoyingly, we kind of ran out of confidence in the Spaniard. Of course, home Grand Prix weekend for him, let's not forget, but Paul Aron has absolutely mugged him and looks like he's going to try and set sail into the distance on this final lap there. Marti, though, can we try and force an error out of him? We were able to surprise Gabriel Bortoletto with a late race attack yesterday. Are we going to be able to do the same today? This time round to the Campos driver there, as Paul Aron, he's walked off on this final lap, so I think he's been able to keep his tyres in better shape than most of our other runners as well here, as we make our way up through Campsa for the final time there. Still Pepe Marti trying to keep that car in between the white lines there. A little bit too far back this time to have a look for a move, but look how early we can get on the throttle on the exit, and Marti no choice but to try and give us some space there. Around the outside we'll try and go up through the hairpin. Are we going to be able to try and hang the car there? Not quite able to that time, but Marti struggles. We'll give him a little bit of a push for good luck. Through the final corner we're going to go, and once again, wheel to wheel through the final couple of corners. It's not enough. It is P3.
Yes, come on, we're on the podium. Good job this weekend. That's a great drive, thank you.
The Estonian driver will look up and see the checkered flag first. Paul Aron wins.
Well, they're leading the standings, and that's why. Driving without pressure, driving at the front of the field, driving with excellence.
And it's time now for the podium celebrations, and how well deserved is this one. What a fantastic victory for Hi-Tech GP.
Well, there we go then. Paul Aron is your feature race winner here in Barcelona, and doing so, yeah, he's your highest point scorer of the weekend there, but only 1 point back for ourselves. We really did have a good run, a double podium finish here, and I'll be honest, with everything that happened in that feature race, to finish exactly where we started seems to be a little bit of a disappointment. I'll be completely honest there. Ollie Bearman claims fastest lap bonus point, though, to help bolster his championship challenge as well. You can see it was Aron, Marti, ourselves, Hauger, our teammate Hajar, Colapinto, Vershaw, Bortoletto, and Victor Martins that rounds out your top 10 in the end. Taylor Barnard incredibly close to his first points of the year, and Correa and Miata that were the two that failed to see the checkered flag. What does that do, though, to our championship challenge? Well, it does mean now that Paul Aron leaves here with a bigger advantage than Ollie Bearman came into the weekend. 11-point shift now in the way of the Estonian there. We're just 17 back, 1 ahead of Bortoletto. And I tell you what, Marty and Colapinto, they are still outside shot. If they can just quietly keep building up good points finishes, they are not out of this title fight anytime soon there. Constructors-wise, yeah, again, we continue to open up that lead, though. Prema now 49 clear of High-Tech at the top of the table. I think, yeah, Campos and MP might be able to get close to High-Tech, maybe even Victor by the end of the season there. But I'm hoping, yeah, that Prema are just going to be able to waltz away with that crown. But there we go then, another weekend ticked off in our F2 campaign. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back next weekend, I believe, returning to the Styrian Mountains, ready for the Austrian Grand Prix.